Hey there, welcome to ClassFlo. If you run a dance studio, fitness center, or really any place where you're juggling classes, instructors, and rooms, you know scheduling can be chaos. That's exactly why I built this. Think of ClassFlo as your scheduling assistant that actually understands how studios work. It handles your regular weekly patterns, your one-off events, catches double bookings before they happen, and basically automates all the tedious stuff so you can focus on running your studio. All right, let's get you set up. So you've just opened ClassFlo for the first time. You'll see a setup wizard walk you through 5 quick steps to get your app configured. This only takes a minute or two, and you can always change these settings later. Let's go through each step. First up, set your season dates. When does your current season start? When does it end? Use the start month and year dropdown to pick when your season begins. Then use the end month and year to pick when it finishes. This controls which months show up in your monthly view later. For example, if you run a school year schedule, you might set August through May. If you run year-round, you might do January through December. Want a quick 12-month season starting from today? Click Use 12-month Default. You can always change this later in global settings under Seasonal Calendar. When it looks right, click Next Step. Now, pick your layout style. You've got 2 options. Normal UI gives you more breathing room in the headers and toolbars, best for larger displays like if you're on a desktop or a big laptop. Compact UI tightens everything up so more tools fit on the screen at once, ideal for smaller laptops like a 13-inch. For those with smaller laptop screens, I would highly recommend using the compact UI for a better UI experience. Click whichever fits your setup. Your choice applies immediately, and you can change it later in the settings. Click Next Step when you're done, or back if you want to change your calendar period. This next step is where you tell ClassFlo when your studio actually operates. Pick your start hour, when does your studio day begin, then pick your end hour, when do you close. The calendar's day and week views will focus on this time window, so if you run after-school classes from 3:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., set those hours. No need to show 8 a.m. if you're never open then. If you accidentally set an end hour that's before your start hour, you'll see a message and Next Step will be disabled. Just adjust the times so the end is later than the start. Then click Next Step. Now, choose how you want times displayed, which day your week starts on, and your time zones. Under Time Format, pick between 12-hour or 24-hour, whatever you and your staff are used to. Under Week Starts On, choose Sunday or Monday. Some studios think of Monday as the start of the week, others prefer Sunday. Pick whatever feels natural. And under Time Zone, choose your time zone from the pop-up modal. You can use the search bar to quickly find your city, region, or code. US time zones are conveniently placed at the top of the list. All other time zones are below. Once you have selected your preferences, click Next Step. Last step, choose the overall look and feel for your workspace. You'll see a grid of color schemes, each with a name and a tagline. You have Ocean Depth, Twilight Studio, Modern Ember, Sophisticated Warmth, Modern Minimalist, and Analog Studio. Click through them and see what you like. This affects the headers, panels, and calendar background. Don't worry, you can change this anytime later in global settings. Pick one and then click Finish. The wizard closes and you're in. Your calendar is configured and ready to go. Now that you're past the setup wizard, let me show you where all these settings live in case you want to change them later. See that settings button in the top right corner? Click that. You have class time window at the top. That's where your studio hours live. You can adjust them anytime, and you can even save them as your default for future projects. You have low latency mode. If you're on an older computer and things feel sluggish, turn this on. It optimizes the interface to make everything snappier. You have visual settings and color schemes. Explore the different looks and find what works best for you. Seasonal calendar. This mirrors what you set up in the wizard. Come back here anytime to adjust your season dates. Below that, you can set a custom save location for your projects on your computer. I highly recommend doing this. It ensures your projects are always backed up to a location you control. If you've already got saved projects, don't worry. Setting a new path will automatically migrate everything to the new location seamlessly. Nothing gets lost. You have a danger zone at the bottom. This is where you can clear all your data. Just be careful with this one. It can't be undone. All right, let's close out of settings. Before we dive into the calendar, let me quickly show you where your projects live. See that arrow button in the top left corner of the app? Click that. A sidebar slides out. This is your project hub. All your projects live here. You can create new ones, switch between them, rename them, delete them, whatever you need. If you've used any of the other Flow apps, this sidebar will look familiar. It works the same way across the whole suite. All right, let's close that sidebar and start exploring the calendar. Now, we need to tell ClassFlo about your studio spaces. See that Add Room button? Click it. Watch, a room appears in your calendar grid. By default, it's named Studio 1. Click Add Room again and you'll get Studio 2. Keep going until you've added all your studios. To rename a room, just double-click the room title. A little window pops up where you can type something like Main Studio or Yoga Room or whatever you call your spaces. Click Save when you're done. If you need to delete a room, just click the X in the room header and it's gone. Take a look at your calendar now. See those horizontal lines? Those are your time slots, broken down into increments. The increments become more granular as you zoom in. This gives you a ton of flexibility for scheduling. Use those zoom buttons up top to zoom in and out. Zoomed in, you can see every little time slot clearly. Great for detailed work. Zoomed out, you get more of an overview. Great for seeing patterns. The calendar works on 5-minute increments for precise timing without getting random schedule times like 3:02 p.m. One more thing, before we move on, see that auto-save indicator up top? Yeah, you never have to worry about losing your work. Every single change you make saves automatically. One less thing to stress about. All right, your calendar is set up. Next, we need to get your teachers and students into the system. We'll cover that in the next video.